Hello everyone, welcome to the Chemistry Guide channel. So, in the last three videos, we have discussed the concept related to the topic matter in our surroundings. In this video, I will discuss the questions that are given in the NCRT. I will discuss the solutions to the questions that are given in the NCRT. So, if you look at the first question, here it is given as to identify which comes under matter. So, the question is which of the following are matter? Chair, air, love, smell, hate, almonds, thought, cold drink, smell of perfume. So if we see here, first option is chair. So if we observe the chair is having mass and it is occupying space. So we can say that chair is a matter. So next if we see air. So from our previous knowledge, we can say that air is also a matter because it is occupying space and it is having a mass. But if we see the love, it doesn't have any mass and it is not occupying any space, it is just a feel, so we cannot say that it is a matter. Again, smell, we will just feel the smell, but smell will not occupy any space and it won't have any mass, so smell is also not a matter. Again, hate, same thing, here also it is not having any mass and it is not occupying any space, so we will say that hate is not a matter. Almonds, if you see the almonds, they are having mass and they are occupying space, so almonds comes under the category of matter. Again, thought also won't occupy space and it won't have any mass also, so thought is also not a matter. Again, cold, same thing, here also it is not having any mass and it is not occupying any space, so cold is not a matter. Cold drink, if you see cold drink, it is occupying space and it is having a mass, so cold drink comes under the category of matter. Again, smell of perfume, we can feel the smell of perfume, but it is not having any mass or it is not occupying any space, so it does not come under the category of matter. So next question is give reasons for the following observation. The smell of hot sizzling food reaches you several meters away, but to get smell from the cold food you have to go close. That is, here it is given like if we can feel the smell of the hot food from a distance, from a large distance, but we cannot feel the smell of the cold food, that like ice cream or anything, we cannot feel the smell of that, but we can feel the smell of the things which are being cooked in our home. So they're asking why this is happening, what is the reason behind this. So the reason behind this is, in the hot food the particles are having more kinetic energy, so because of this higher kinetic energy they will be in random motion, or the rate of diffusion will be higher. That means the rate of diffusion means the ability to spread in the given area is more. So as a result, what happens is, in the case of hot sizzling food, the particles will move far away places and they will reach us, they will reach our noses and we will feel that. But in case of cold food, what happens is, they are having the lesser kinetic energy. As a result, what happens, the rate of diffusion is less, so we cannot feel the smell of the cold food until and unless we go close to that. So next question is, a diver is able to cut through water in a swimming pool, which property of matter we have used here. So what happens, we are seeing that a diver can swim in the water, so they are asking which property of matter has been used here. We have seen different properties of matter, like particles, matter is made up of particles, particles of matter are continuously moving, particles of matter are attracts each other. So the property of matter which applies in this case is, the particles of matter are having spaces between them. Because of those spaces only the diver is able to move. If the spaces are not there, he will not be able to, he is not able to move in that water. And again, the thing is, if forces of attraction is more, he cannot be able to swim in that, because of the large, he has to exert very large force in order to overcome the forces. But here the forces of attraction are very weak, and the as well as the intermolecular spaces that are present between the particles of the matter, allowing the diver to cut through water in a swimming pool. So next question is, what are the characteristics of the particles of matter? We have already discussed the characteristics of the particles of matter. So the characteristics of the particles of matter are, the particles of matter have spaces between them, particles of matter are in continuous movement, and the particles of matter attract each other. We have already discussed all these 3 points. Next is the mass per unit volume of a substance is called density. So that is density equal to mass by unit volume. That is, density is directly proportional to the mass and it is inversely proportional to the volume. That is, if mass is more, density of that substance will be more, and if the volume is more, but the density of the substance will be less, because density and volume are inversely related. So here what they have asked is, arrange the following in order of increasing density: air, exhaust from chimneys, honey, water, chalk, cotton and iron. So if we categorize the things here which are given into the solid, liquid and gas, if we see, the volume occupied by solid will be less as compared to liquids, and that of liquids will be less as compared to gases. As volume is inversely related to density, we will say that solids are having higher density as they are having smaller volume and higher mass. Again, liquids are having higher density as compared to that of gases, but their density is lesser as compared to that of the solids. So here if we differentiate the things into solid, liquid and gas, here air and exhaust from chimneys comes under the category of gases. Again, honey, water comes under the category of liquid, and cotton, chalk and iron, they comes under the category of solid. So here in the least, here they have asked to arrange in the increasing order. So increasing order means, so first here we have to, gases will have the least density. So first place will be occupied by gases. So if we see air and exhaust from chimneys, air is having more volume, so air will have least density. So first will be air, again exhaust from chimneys. Here one exception is that cotton is a solid, but it is having very little mass, so it will have the density lesser than that of water. So cotton, water and honey, next is chalk and next is iron. So next question is, tabulate the differences in the characteristics of states of matter. So we have learned that different states of matter are solid, liquid and gases. Now they are asking to write the differences in the characteristics of the states of matter in a table manner. So here if we discuss in terms of shape, first solid will have fixed shape, liquid it doesn't have any fixed shape, and gases also won't have any fixed shape. So in terms of volume, if we discuss, solids have fixed volume, even liquids have fixed volume, but gases don't have any fixed volume. And rigidity or fluidity, if we discuss, solids are rigid, that is, and they cannot flow. But if we come to liquids and gases, they are not rigid and they can flow. Again, if we see the forces of attraction between the particles of matter, the spaces that are present between the particles of matter in case of solid are very less, and the forces of attraction are maximum in solids. Again, in liquids, the forces of attraction are less as compared to that of the solid, but they are higher as compared to that of the gas. In gas, forces of attraction are very less. And next is comment upon the following. Rigidity. So first here we will see the rigidity. So what is meant by rigidity is the tendency of a substance to retain its shape when an outside force is applied on it is known as the rigidity. So rigidity, if we apply force on a if we apply some force on a substance, if the substance is able to retain its shape even by applying that force, it is known as the property of rigidity. So if we see solids will retain their shape even when external force is applied. So we will say that solids are rigid. But if you see the liquids, they won't retain its shape when force is applied. So we won't say that they are rigid, they are non-rigid. Again, the next thing is compressibility. So what is meant by compressibility is, we have already seen that the particles of the matter are having spaces between them. So what happens when we apply the force is, these spaces that are present between the particles of matter gets decreased due to the force that is applied. So this is what is known as compressibility. So the compressibility the definition or meaning, if we see, it is known as the property of the particles of matter to come closer when an external force is applied on the matter is known as compressibility. So liquids and gases are having this compressibility, but solids won't show this compressibility. Next is fluidity. So we have seen in the while tabulating the differences between the different states of matter, we have seen that solids cannot flow but liquids and gases can flow, like that we have discussed. So now we will see what is meant by fluidity. So if we see the water, it can flow, but if we see the chalk or something, it cannot flow. So what is meant by fluidity is the ability of a substance to flow is called the fluidity. So here liquids and gases can flow. Next is filling of a gas container. If we discuss, like in case of gases, the more particles of the matter will have more kinetic energy. As a result of this higher kinetic energy, they will vibrate and they will be in constant random motion. As a result of this, the diffusion power is more and they will fill the container of a gas easily. Next is shape. So in shape, in case of solids, what happens is they will have fixed shape, but if you see the liquids, they will assume the shape of the container, and gases also same, they will assume the shape of the container. So this is what is meant by the shape is due to the maximum forces of attraction between the particles of matter. In case of solids will have a fixed shape. Next is kinetic energy. When the particles are moving, they will have some energy, and the energy due to the motion of these particles is known as the kinetic energy. Next is density. Density means mass per unit volume. So here we have, as we have already discussed, solids have the highest density. Next, they have asked to give the reasons. A gas fills completely the vessel in which it is kept. So they are asking why the gas fills completely the vessel in which it is kept. Here why? Because the molecules that are present in the gas are having higher kinetic energy. As a result, their diffusion power is more and they will vibrate and they will move, they will be in random motion. As a result, they will fill the vessel in which they are kept. And a gas exerts pressure on the walls of the container. So we have already learned that in case of gases only we will discuss of the term pressure. So if we see gases, because of their higher kinetic energy, they will be in random motion and they will vibrate. As a result, they will be colliding with they will be hitting the walls of the container. When they hit the walls of the container, the force that is generated per unit area is known as the pressure, and we say that a gas exerts pressure on the walls of the container. Next is a wooden table should be called a solid. So if you look at the wooden table, it is having a fixed volume and it is having a fixed shape also. It cannot flow. Wooden table cannot flow and it cannot be compressed as well. So if you look at all these properties, these are all the properties of a solid. So we can say that a wooden table should be called a solid. Next is we can easily move our hand in air, but to do the same through a solid block of wood, we need a karate expert. So if we wave our hand in air, we can easily, but can we wave our hand in a solid block? We cannot easily. So we need a karate expert in that. So they are asking what is the reason behind that. So if we see, air is a gas. As we have already learned, the forces of attraction between the particles of matter in case of gas are very less. So due to these weak forces of attraction, we can easily move our hand. But if we see the solids, so if we see that block of wood, it is a solid. So the forces of attraction between the particles of matter will be maximum. As a result, a more amount of force has to be applied by us in order to overcome those forces of attraction. So for this we need a karate expert to wave our hand or to move our hand in a solid block of wood. So next is liquids generally have lower density as compared to solids. But you must have observed that ice floats on water. Find out why. So here they are asking, if you see the water and if you drop a substance like stone. Here stone means it is a solid. So stone is having higher density. So it will be immersed or it will be dipped into that water. But if you see thermocol or some ice, it will be floating on the water. But from our knowledge, we will say that ice is a solid. So it has to be immersed in the water, but it is not so, but it is floating on the water. So they are asking why it is so. If you see the structure of ice, it is having a cage-like structure. So in that cage-like structure, what will be there is vacant gaps will be there. So due to these vacant gaps, the volume occupied by the ice will be more. As a result, what happens is density of the ice will be less as compared to that of the water. So because of this less density, ice floats on the water. Next, they are asking for the conversion of temperature from Kelvin scale to Celsius scale. So we have already learned that this conversion is temperature in Kelvin scale equal to temperature in Celsius plus 273.16. So if we rearrange this, temperature in Celsius scale will be equal to temperature in Kelvin minus 273.16. Therefore here they have given 300 Kelvin. So 300 Kelvin means it will be 300 minus 273, that is 27 Celsius. Next is 573 Kelvin they have given. So 573 Kelvin equal to 573 minus 273, that is 300 Celsius. Next they have asked what is the physical state of water at 250 degrees Celsius. So at 250 degrees Celsius we have already learned that the water that is the liquid water can be converted into water vapor at 100 degrees centigrade. If we see 250 is higher than 100, so that 100 is the minimum temperature at which water vapor can appear. So above 100 it will only water vapor is present. So at 250 degrees what we can say is only water vapor is present. And again next is 100 Celsius. So we are saying that it is the minimum temperature at which water is converted into the water vapor. So at that 100, as soon as the temperature reaches 100 degrees, whole water will not be converted into the water vapor. Slowly it will be converted into the water vapor. So at 100 degrees centigrade, what will be there is liquid water and water vapor. Both states of water will be present. So next is, for any substance, why does the temperature remain constant during the change of state? So what they are asking is why the temperature change will not be there during the change of state. So as we have seen that in order to convert solid into liquid or liquid into gas, we are supplying the heat. So when we are supplying the heat, the temperature is getting increased. But what happens is, as soon as the solid reaches 0 degrees, if it is in case of water, as soon as the water reaches 0 degrees, as soon as the ice reaches 0 degrees, or when the liquid water reaches 100 degrees centigrade, we won't see any increase in the temperature. Why? Because at this temperature the heat that is supplied by us will be used in order to overcome the forces of attraction that is present in the solid or liquid to get converted into liquid or vapor. So here that heat will not be used to increase the temperature, but that heat is getting used in order to overcome the forces of attraction, and this heat will be in the form of hidden heat and is known as latent heat. So due to this, the temperature will remain constant during the change of state. Next is suggest a method to liquefy atmospheric gases. So we have already discussed that by cooling the gases or by applying pressure on the gases we can liquefy the atmospheric gases. So this is all about the solutions to the problems that are given in NCERT. Again, some more questions are there. In the next video I will discuss those. If you have any doubt or if there is any mistake from my side, please feel free to type it in the comment box, and if you want the soft copy of this, you can download it from the description box. Thank you for watching this.